Hey everyone, Alaskan Beard here, and today we are going to be unboxing a very special edition. It is the special edition of Star Wars Bounty Hunter for the PS4, released by Limited Run Games. This is something they announced at E3 last year, and I just received it on January 8th, so I'm super happy to share this with you guys. So yeah, let's jump in by taking a look at the outside box. As you can see, we have the Star Wars Bounty Hunter logo at the top there, as well as the Mandalorian insignia. Everything, at least on the outside of the box, is kind of this really awesome reflective blue. I really dig it. Moving on to the side, we have the Star Wars Bounty Hunter logo again, as well as the logos for Lucasfilm Limited and Limited Run. And then flipping over to the other side, we also have the exact same thing. So the logo and then the logos. One cool thing about the way they did this box is no matter how you have it sitting on your shelf, which direction, the logo is always going to be facing the correct way. So if we flip it around to face the other direction, logo's still facing this way, which is a really nice touch. One thing that isn't as nice of a touch personally is the back. It's just kind of a standard like video game box back. And I gotta say, I would have just preferred like gray, like the rest of the box. Just personal preference, but I think it would have looked a little bit more cohesive, a little bit nicer. But this is what we have, so let's take a look. It's really just a description of the game, along with a couple of screenshots, and then our protagonist here, Jango Fett. So yeah, now that we've had a look at the outside, let's go ahead and take off the cover and see what we got. So the first thing we've got is this certificate of authenticity, and then you can also see we've got an enamel pin and a coin up here. We'll take a look at it in a little bit. But yeah, so this is a limited run. It is limited to 3,000 copies, as you can see here, and I have edition 700 of 3,000. And just the certificate of authenticity, pretty standard. Moving on, under the certificate, you can see we've got the copy of Star Wars Bounty Hunter for the PS4. And this is your pretty standard PS4 game case. We've got, you know, a cover with Lucasfilm on the bottom. Typical side case. And typical back case. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Moving on to the inside. We've got the game disc for the PS4, and then what I was hoping was a manual, but is actually just a pamphlet asking you to go into the settings to look at the system health warning, which kind of disappointing considering the original did have a full manual. You'd think they could just reprint it and put it in here, but who knows? It's not here either way. Moving further into our box of goodies, we have a nice little pull tab here, and we can see we've got a pretty sweet poster. I'm not going to try and unfold it on camera because that would be a mess, but I will throw an image of it on screen here in just a second. And then after that, we have a few art prints, if I can actually get them out of the box. The first is the Star Wars Bounty Hunter logo, and there is not anything on the back of these for anyone curious. Mandalorian insignia, and then the action shot of Jango Fett that's used kind of everywhere for this release. The last item in the bottom of the box here is probably the coolest. It is a steel case for the game, and you can see it just kind of uses the same artwork, only without all the rest of the text. No Lucasfilm Limited, no rated T for teen kind of stuff. The only thing that is disappointing about this is the side here is this super duper tiny, if I can even get my camera to focus, super duper tiny logo for the game. they really easily probably could have just done it the same way they did on the PS4 case, like the standard one, where they did it written out, but instead they did this minuscule one that you would never even be able to read unless you were looking for it. So that's the only disappointing part there. But it is cool to have a steel case, especially with this nice kind of reflective shininess you get on Django. Well, the whole case really, but Django catches the light pretty good to himself. And then the inside is just a standard case. Moving on to the last two bits of the box here. As I said, we have an enamel pin, and this is just Django Fett's helmet. It's a really sweet pin. It's definitely going on my bag, but you know, there's not a whole lot to it. On the back, you can see we have Lucasfilm Limited and Limited Run logos embossed on the back here. And yeah, that's the pin. And then I'm gonna do a nice fancy jump cut here because this coin is such a pain in the butt to get out of the box. It's like in 4 layers of cardboard. But yeah. So here we have the Star Wars Bounty Hunter coin. It's just the game logo on one side with Lucasfilm Limited on the other. I have a handful of these coins from games and I'm never sure what to do with them. This one is pretty cool, so I might see if I can get like a coin display, like a collector's coin display, and see if I can put it up somewhere. But I mean, other than that, I'm not going to do a whole lot with it. But I do appreciate having other physical items, so yeah. One kind of special thing I wanted to do specific to this release is compare it to its original release for PS2. I just happen to have them both on hand now, so I figured why not. Not a whole lot has changed, as you can see. The big difference here is they went from LucasArts being the, I'm assuming, publisher, to Lucasfilm, and then I mean, other than that, it's mainly just changes between PS4 and PS2. The backs are almost identical. They use pretty much the exact same copy, which is kind of cool. The only major difference I saw here that might be worth seeing is the PS2 edition requires 50K on the memory card, and conversely the PS4 edition requires 2.4 gig. I'm sure that's just kind of how they're doing the game itself, but interesting nonetheless. So yeah, that is Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the PS4 release by Limited Run Games. We'll probably take a look here later in the video at how the game runs on a PS4 Pro, but that does it for the actual unboxing. So I will see you guys in game in just a minute.
Where's Miko?
You're a bounty hunter, right? For a little money, maybe I could take you to him. Oh!
Take me and maybe I won't blast you.
Okay, take it easy. I'll do it, but they'll kill me if they see me bringing you along. Maybe if you follow behind, you know, keep your distance.
Move it.
And we're back. Alright, so the first thing I want to mention is that this game is not, I repeat, not a remaster. It does appear to use slightly better textures, but I imagine they're probably the original game textures, just like with less compression. So yeah, now that that's out of the way, it's also worth mentioning that this game is available digitally for the PS4 on the PlayStation Store for $10. It appears that the edition that Limited Run Games packaged and the digital edition are probably the same. So if you're interested in playing it, you don't need to go out and buy the Limited Run Games edition for some reason. You could just buy it on the PlayStation Store for, I imagine, a lot cheaper. I won't be doing a full review of this game, especially since it was released for the PS4 back in 2015, but for the purposes of this unboxing, I did play through the first 2 levels just to compare it to the PS2 release. And as I said, it's not a remaster, so it's not anything spectacular, but it does look a fair amount better than the original, especially the textures and then especially the cutscenes. Being able to see things like the dirt on Django and like the creases in his pants, those are excellent, nice touches. Speaking of comparisons, here are the opening cutscenes from both games. I'll be switching back and forth between the two probably. It's worth noting that I am up-resing the PS2 version.
Master?
Lord Tyrannus, an urgent matter has arisen that must interrupt your training. The Bando Gora has become a dangerous parasite. It must be eradicated. I believe you once had the opportunity to eliminate its leader. Why did you not take it?
As an experiment?
The experiment has failed. This deranged former Jedi has no place in my vision for the future. I expect you to correct this error.
As you wish. And what of your plan for the clone army?
Our cloners require a host. You must find an ideal specimen, perhaps among the galaxy's most dangerous mercenaries.
I shall accomplish both of these tasks with a single stroke, Master.
Yes. I look forward to completing your training, my friend.
What a contest this is turning out to be! Outland Station hasn't seen a brutal beast fight like this in a long time! The fearsome Morek has proven to be a formidable challenger! Its owner must be thrilled, whoever he is! Hasbro's Zala's champion finally met its match tonight!
Master Jango, where are you?
The champion is in trouble! Ow! What a blow! And another! And the challenger wins! Oh, what a tremendous upset! What's this?
Nice try, Fett.
Dead or alive, Miko?
He's holding a remote! That's cheating! What an eye!
You want me? You gotta go through him first.
And yeah, that wraps it up for my unboxing of the Limited Run Games Special Edition of Star Wars Bounty Hunter for the PS4. If you enjoyed this, I actually have another like 5 Limited Run Games unboxings to do, so feel free to subscribe if that's something you're interested in. And either way, thanks for tuning in.